Hello, welcome back to another episode of More Than Friends. My name is Tashi, and for today's episode, I'm having Andreas back on the episode. Let's go. To give you a guy's perspective on dating as well, because you're already getting that female perspective, but it's nice to hear what you think, and we can bounce back and forth off each other.
We can bounce.
Today, I was curious about what you were like on dates. When you're on a date with a girl, how soon do you start touching?
Like myself? I like to just get that out of the way, to be honest. Kind of like right when she gets in the car, I'm just like pants down. No, one of my love languages is physical touch. Without even thinking about it, I don't know. I just kind of probably like right off the bat, but it's not like overbearing or I don't know. Like,
yeah.
It's just light touches, maybe like on the wrist or forearm, maybe on the back a little bit, like guiding her through. Like if we're going somewhere, it's like step into my office.
Yeah, you're letting her know we're not going to be friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Or if like you meet for the first time, it's like a hug. And if you're walking across the street or like into somewhere, hold hands, like little guidance.
Yeah.
Not like fucking fully clasping,
not
but
right
just
away.
like a little bit. Yeah.
But it's good because you're creating more comfort with her. So then when it comes down to, especially with touch, because where guys go wrong is at the end of the date, they didn't touch the whole date. And then at the end of the date, they want to kiss her. And the girl's like, we haven't touched the whole date. Like, I feel uncomfortable. And that's usually when girls reject. So definitely, like, I like any little touches. Because then I also feel more comfortable with them. I'm like, like, he's interested. And then if she's reciprocating, she's like doing little touches back. It's like good. Or you can check her body language. Like if she's pulling away.
It's a big one.
That's a bad one.
Body language is big. You could toe hug.
Toe hug?
Yeah. Just let the dogs out. Hug the toes. Really good. Gets you to second base quicker. Within the first 10 minutes, like guys. Within the first 10 minutes, try to toe hug. Trust me on that.
You're so annoying. Yeah, I feel like establishing touch is important. That's why I like also sitting side by side on dates.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't
like sitting
it feels like interviewee. One time I went on a date and it was like I think it was at Katsuya or something, but the table was so wide that like it's literally probably as wide as like where we are right now. So imagine a table in between us, and it just felt so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Never called her back.
It's her fault, the table. That's why
it was
I
her
always
fault I chose that spot. It was her fault.
I always jump next to them. Like if there's a booth, I'll like scoot over and be like, come next to me.
Yeah. You like sit on top of them. Babe, this is a sizzler. Relax.
There's kids around.
Yeah, there's kids.
And then it's not as awkward when you're talking. You can actually look at other things or talk about other people around instead of it just being about you two.
Oh, that's the best. It's like, just people watching together. See if
talking about what kind of date they may be having.
Yeah. It's like, can we people watch together? I feel like once you get in a long-term relationship, half the relationship is just going places and people watching.
Yeah.
You can't do that on the first date. I don't want to marry you.
They say some of the best relationships that last the longest are the people who think that their relationship is the best. Like,
that's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. Wait, speaking about, what are your filters when it comes to dating and like men? Do you have any like hard filters that's like, it's a make it or break it deal?
Yeah. When someone's not open-minded to like my way of thinking, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. But if I could see like a hard shutdown when I'm saying something and I'm like, like this is so awkward. I hate that.
Okay, so they can oppose you.
Yeah.
But still challenge you and have like discourse.
Yeah.
Without being like, no.
I just hate when it's just like that's wrong. I don't like that. I'm like, is it though?
Yeah.
I was like,
I feel you on that.
What about you?
Not committing to the bit.
Yeah.
If you can't commit to the bit, I can't commit to you. That's a fucking fact. Yo, if you like committing to the bit is so important to me. It's so important to me. There's been so many times I've thrown a bit out on a dating app or like in messages or whatever, and they don't commit, and then I see like the text bubble, like they're writing back. I'm just like, I write back, I'm like, oh, you didn't commit, and then they're like writing back. I just unmatch. I swear to God, like no mercy. I have no time. Because it's just like,
it just shows they're not playful.
No, it just shows like we're not gonna get look, like you're probably a great girl. You're not a great girl for me. That's it. There's no.
Because why? What are
that.
you feeling?
Huh?
Why?
Because like I want
like simplify it. Besides just saying a vibe.
No, like I want a girl who has like a certain sense of humor. There's certain humor that I'm not interested in. Like there's so many comedians out there. Like you're not gonna laugh at the same ones I laugh at, and vice versa and everything. It's just like, do we share the same sense of humor?
And I think it's important for people who are like, because I was like so shy to the point of where I couldn't even order my own food at a restaurant, and I would have the other person do it for me. So for me, I would always blame it on me if I was in a social interaction with a guy, and I'd be like, oh, it's awkward conversation or things like that. I'm like, it's probably me because I was shy. And then I realized as I got older, I was like, no, it could be them too. Like, we don't vibe maybe. Like, you're not supposed to vibe with everyone. And I would be so harsh on myself instead of just like learning from the experience.
You're right though. Like, sometimes it's both people, but like, I think in your scenario, it's probably just, it's a fact though.
Do I make you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah. People can't see the gun you're holding to me off screen right now.
I always do.
Gun to the head.
Gun to your head.
Podcast. Committing to the bit is like literally like one of my highest standards.
Yeah. Well, for me, the reason why I feel like humor is so attractive is it just shows that you're not caring so much what I think about you, that you're able to be playful and goofy.
Yeah.
That to me is attractive. It's unattractive when I'm with someone and you can tell they're like pre-rehearsed things that they're saying back to you, or they tell the same stories they tell everyone. Like, I could tell, I'm like, you've said this on every date.
Yeah, it's facts. And like, there's been some times where like I've been out with a girl and like I've shown my kind of humor, who I am, everything, and then maybe fast forward it to like the fourth time hanging out, and she's probably trying to tone me down. Like, if I'm being who I am, I'm saying the jokes I make and everything, she'll be like, okay, but like, hey, just not here. I'm like,
fuck you, that's
like,
what I did.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Like, you can't control me. What the hell? Like,
you told me to. Actually, no, I have had that happen. That actually just happened to me recently. I was out and somebody toned down my joke, and I was like, I don't want to be around you. It did make me want to make them feel more uncomfortable. So I was like, well, now I'm going to make it worse. Yeah, I don't like that. Because then also I don't like feeling judged. That's what it feels like to me when someone like shuts down my joke and doesn't keep it going. If
someone doesn't think I'm funny, they're the problem.
That's on them.
They're the problem.
As long as I'm entertaining myself, that's all that matters.
It's like, listen, this is grade A material, guys.
What's a red flag for you when you're dating women?
A red flag for me is a girl who complains. That's the one that comes to my mind. If she complains about like practically anything, it's okay to let off a little steam. Listen, baby, don't get me wrong. Like, look at you got a little thing on your soul. Let it out. You're putting your foot on the pedal. It's just like, come on, bro. Like, you're miserable.
I feel like you told me about a story about a girl that was she just kept saying like little things to you to see if you were like a player.
No, she was this like girl from out of town, and like she was here for a week, and she was just like, I took her out on a date and we went to several spots, and she just kept multiple times she just kept saying like in different ways like, you're an LA fuckboy, while also saying like putting herself down. Like, that's another red flag, like low confidence. It's like, baby, somewhere along the line in your journey someone hurt you and you're down here, and I'm not going to bring you up here. It's just like,
how could you tell that she had low confidence?
She was just saying like,
how did she say it?
Yeah, she was just saying like I don't know why a guy like you is on a date with a girl like me. Like, it's just like, why? I'm like,
yeah, I've had guys say that to me.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, you're a babe, and like, I think you're dope. Like, that's why.
Yeah, and then you find yourself trying to like encourage her to be confident.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh,
that's
you're not
the
confident.
Worst if I have to do that. If I have to make you feel more confident. Obviously, there's times in life where you're there for the person you're with, but if I'm like doing that in the beginning, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll never start dating someone exclusively if they're starting down here. It's not my job to bring you up. Yeah. Like, I want to only find and build with people who are high in their vibration, and then along our journeys, if we're together, if I see a dip, it's my job to bring you back up and remind you who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, girl? Like, this ain't you. You know what I'm saying? And that's my job.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to save no one. Like, it's just like, do the inner work yourself and get yourself up.
Because that's one of the things that I always found hard in dating, was when I felt like I was the teacher all the time. I was like, I'm helping you all the time grow. And then what are you bringing to me?
Yeah, what are you bringing to me? I'm going to have to invoice you next week on all this advice. Like, come on, baby. You know? Nah, low confidence is like, it's really unattractive. It's a huge turnoff to me.
How do you handle rejection with women? What mindset do you have, or how would you handle it in the scenario?
I stalk them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was fucked up is that sub guy's actual answer. How do I honestly, fuck, dude, I don't even know how to like.
Should we paint a scenario?
No, I just don't know how to say it in a deeper way, but it's like I just don't take it personally. I've worked so hard.
But what did you do to get to that place? Like where you don't take it personally? Is there a mindset that you go to or the self-talk that you do?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, stoicism and reading the Four Agreements will help anyone get to a place of, like, self-acceptance and not taking things personally. That's one of the Four Agreements, is, like, literally don't take things personally.
Yeah.
Anytime I find myself suffering, I'm breaking one of the agreements. Usually it's taking things personally. That's been the hardest one. But because it's human nature. We especially when it's someone that you care about or someone you're interested in. I think rejection hurts more when, obviously, there's more history. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about just kind of like
approaching a girl. Say you just approached her.
I'm just like,
and she was like, "Sorry, I have a boyfriend."
I'm like, "Damn, that's cool. Well, you don't want a man friend? You know what I'm saying?" No, I'll just be like, "That's cool. Like,
yeah,
cool. Like, have a good time."
Because there's been times where, like, say a girl's out with a group of her girlfriends, and you go up and you go to talk to her, and she's like, "Sorry, we're actually just having a girls' night tonight. We just want to catch up." Mm-hmm. What do you think that means?
I mean, it depends because if I honestly heard that, I wouldn't stop there. I'd be like, well, I know you guys started as a girls' night, but this might be a friends' night. And like, I got friends over there. You guys got friends here. Who knows? Maybe one of us is your future ex-boo. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one of us is going to give you the time of your night. The night
of your night.
I would stumble on my words like that.
The time of your life.
Time of your life.
I like that though.
And just like fuck around. And then maybe like that no turns into a maybe, or it's like there's a chance for banter. But if it's like if I feel it in their tone, like they got bass in their tone, I'm like, no. Okay, bet. Like, that's cool. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Be like, you just missed out on a great person.
But it's a good mindset to have, is that you're not just saying like, oh, her first thing is like a rejection. Mm-hmm. Instead, just being like, oh, let me play with her a little bit and see if we could switch this around. Because a lot of guys are like, oh, okay, sorry to bother you. And like, they don't realize that is a rejection at the end of the day. Because if she came out with her friends to a bar or like wherever, they're out in public, they probably want to talk to other people. They're like, they could do that at home, or they could go somewhere more private. Like, they wanted to meet people. That's why they're out. That's why sometimes you see those group of girls like with other guys later. Mm-hmm. Like, other guys are talking to them. So that's why I like that you said you wouldn't just like back down at that first.
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On how she says it.
Yeah. Like, if there's room for like banter, I would just say anything to just like keep it going. I'll just be like, I'll just look at her and be like, wow, you're going to reject me the first time I talk to you? Man, wait until we tell our future kids this. And I'm going to be like, yep, your mom rejected me the first time.
And it's attractive because it shows that you're like not fazed by like just a rejection. It's like, oh, he may be kind of cool actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't just like shut him down that easy.
But you could tell, like, at least I can tell, because I've been rejected before.
What?
Been rejected. And you could tell, just like when a woman's not interested, she's not interested. And then like when she's really not, I'm just like, okay, cool. Have a good day. And then I go on a whimsical side quest.
And you won't just be like, okay, I'm never going to go up and talk to a girl again.
No, fuck that, dude. I don't know. Like, my life is like a life of abundance. I don't know. I think everyone should just like move with like abundance in life, mentality, open-mindedness, all that. Just like, if it's so cliche, so trite, but like if one door closes here, another one opens here. This like pessimistic view of the world is so like, why would you choose to live that way? I don't know. I can't even understand that.
Even for guys, I am usually like, just because she rejected you, instead of being like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this again, learn from that experience. Like, maybe like, what could you have done differently, and like, how could you change it next time, or like whatever. Learn from it, because that's what it's like. Anything that you do, you have to practice it until you get good, and then you come up with those witty responses that you have. Because even for me, when it came to like banter, I was like, ooh, I have my go-to ones that I say and I know in different situations, or depending on what. But it all comes from practice. I just pull it out. I'm like, hold on.
Guy goes up to you, you're like, hold on. Wait a second. And he's just like waiting there.
Oh, you're about to be burned.
No. Rejection is just redirection.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I remember when I was younger, me and my friends, when we would go out, we actually made it a point to like almost get rejected like 10 times before actually going up to girls we like really wanted to talk to. Because sometimes, like, it's human nature, but we put people on pedestal, like, oh my god, that girl's so attractive, like she'll never be interested in me, she'll never want to talk to me and everything. Like, I've had these thoughts before, but if the last 30 minutes I've been like talking to and getting rejected by other girls, then I'll be like, whatever.
Faced.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's weird. I don't know if a lot of people can relate to this, but like I take it back to like training. So like Muay Thai or boxing, like if you just warm yourself up and like you hit the bag a little bit and everything, then like once you get into sparring, the sparring is not so hard because everything's warmed up. Yeah. So it's like warm yourself up when you're going out with your boys, go warm yourself up and harass other women. No, I'm just kidding. Don't harass women.
But I do that even when I'm trying to socialize more. I'll talk with my Uber driver on the way to the event. I'll talk to the door guy, or I purposely make conversation with strangers before I get there so I don't have to like be so on right away, because it's hard to like flip the switch. But what I like about you doing that, getting rejected on purpose, is I've been with guys before where their goal was to get rejected the whole night, and they would just keep on saying the most outlandish like pickup lines to girls. But because at first girls would be like, oh my God, go away, like, because they were just like warming up. But then by the time they were like warmed up and they were just saying ridiculous things, the girls were into it. Like they're like saying things that like you wouldn't be able to usually get away with, but their confidence and them not caring if the girl liked them or not, like the girls could feel that energy and that it was just playful. It actually made girls like them to where they were saying,
because you're not coming from you're not coming from a needy place. That's it.
You're not caring about the outcome. That's what it is.
When you don't care about the outcome, it's so much easier. You flow. You just have a conversation. It's just, again, you just don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Like, that's it. People make shit weird.
Why don't we just end it now? Don't make it
weird.
Because even for me, when I got good at dating apps, because I was just like fascinated by it, because my social awkwardness, I was like, I would just like play with it. That's what's nice about dating apps in a way. You can just keep on talking to strangers that you maybe never see.
Yeah, work on new material all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I test out little things and you're like, okay, change that, because you could tell by how they responded. If they responded in a way you didn't like, you're like, ooh, I need to switch that question a little bit, or I need to change up how I said that so then I can.
My favorite thing to do on dating apps is there's a prompt on most dating apps that's like, guess my ethnicity, and girls really love putting that on their profiles, actually.
Really?
And yeah, like guess, try to guess this thing about me, my ethnicity or whatever.
Yeah.
And I always, if that's on the profile, I'll always answer it, and I'll answer it with like the total opposite of what they are. If they're black, I'll be like, well, it's obvious you're white, or like vice versa. Like I'll always answer it with it's so good. And if they can take it well, like that's a green flag.
Yeah.
If they don't understand it's a joke, I'm like unmatched.
You're like, we're not gonna like each other.
Report. Fake profile report. Just kidding.
You went on a few dates with this girl.
It would never happen.
And then
one date, I'm done.
And then your friend saw her on a date with another guy. What do you do?
I mean, like, is the dude like a stud, or is
he hotter than me?
No, if he doesn't need to be hot, but is he a stud or is he a dud?
I don't know.
If he's a stud, I'll be like, respect.
You're so annoying.
Respect. Okay, but what's the question? Like, what would I do? I mean, if her and I are just starting to get acquainted, and just like it's still like casual and everything, then I'd probably use it to be playful, like the next time I see her. Yeah. But if we're like more serious and maybe we haven't like committed officially, but it's like early enough where it's like why are you doing that? You know, I'll talk to her. Yeah. But yeah, if it's still in the casual stage, the next time I see her, I'll just use it as like ammo to fuck with her. Yeah, I'll just be like, hey yo, like, you know what's crazy? One of my good friends saw you on a date the other night. That's crazy. You said that you were busy that night. I tried taking you out. Yeah, what's up with that? We're like, it didn't go good, huh? Because you're here.
Do you think it's different if you've hooked up?
Like physically? Mm-hmm. No, I don't think it's different. I don't think so. Because you know what? I'm glad we're talking about this, because I think that we live in a day and age and a culture right now where like strangers who are getting to know each other have this weird possession over the other person too early on in the relationship. And I think that unless it's communicated, everything's fair game in dating. Like if I'm dating, if I go on a date with an attractive girl, I would be foolish to think that she's not dating other attractive men. And I'm not saying she's sleeping with a bunch of men, and I'm not saying I'm sleeping with a bunch of women, but I think it should be understood, like, unless we're in a committed relationship, like, you're single and I'm single. So like if on a date with someone else, like a week after we went on a date, like, I don't know, I'd hope you're more confident enough than like to not let that break you. You know what I'm saying?
There's
competition.
Yeah. I had a guy before I went on a date with him, and then a few days later I went on a date with another guy, and he happened to show up at my date.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing. It just felt awkward. It felt uncomfortable.
Did you guys talk? Just see each other?
It was at like a mini golf place, and I was like with the other guy, and we were walking in, and I didn't see him, thank God. He saw me from like behind or something, and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, we're at the same place. Don't make it weird or whatever." And I was just like, "Okay." But then he never talked to me again.
Got it.
So he got butthurt about it. It would have been cooler if he was like, "Don't make it weird," and like laughed about it.
Yeah.
But he like didn't want to talk to me again. I was like, we went on one date, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like I've never been in that scenario, but I think how I would handle it is just like, I'd be like, yeah, don't make it weird. And then next time I see you, just kind of laugh it off or something.
Mess with you. It's different. I feel like if you were having the conversation of like, yeah, I'm only talking to you right now. Or if they were saying things like that, then it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's, and absolutely. And that, like, that makes you a fuck boy or fuck girl.
Yeah.
By default. Like,
yeah, that's manipulation.
Yeah, like, dude, like, and that's, see, a lot of people, like, they'll throw those terms around and everything. And I'm like, the only real definition is like, if you're telling someone one thing and you're doing it, like, that's it.
Yeah, you're a liar.
You're a liar. You know what I'm saying? And just like, other than that, like, dating should, you go on dates.
Have you ever had it where your banter goes too far and then it, cause like I have banter sometimes with guys. This is what works on me. It's like I've had guys before, take notes. They banter as if we've already been dating, like that, even on the first date or the first time interaction. They'll be like, "Oh, like, babe, are you going to pick up the kids?" or blah, blah, blah. Like, they'll talk to me as if we're already, like, serious. And I don't know why that's, like, a turn on. I was like, oh, that's kind of hot. But then it's cool because you can think of, like, funny material back and forth. So then you guys have this inside joke together that no one else is in on. And then it just, like, links you guys in a weird way. But I don't know why that's attractive to me. I like that kind of banter. Have you ever done anything where you're just like, you come up with inside jokes between you and that girl? Yeah,
but what do you think is taking it too far? What do you mean by that?
I think I took it too far sometimes where my banter would go a little, because I would joke about the fact that we're like together, but then like in a married or whatever, but they would start to see it as like, okay, we really are like, it's just us. And then I would see that the joke went too far and I was like, oh no, but I am dating other people. Yeah.
So have I experienced that? Or have I, like, what are you asking?
I don't know what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know what you're asking either.
But have you ever done that technique where you do the type of banter where you...
I mean, I've said shit where like the joke didn't land and it's like, now I look like an ass. I've said stuff where I'm like, you know, maybe I say like something racist. No, I'm like... No, I just say something like, and it just doesn't land. Like it goes back to humor and banter. It's just sometimes you're gonna say stuff that like you're like, oh shit, they took it serious. Yeah. I've had that happen. You just block them, ghost them. Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Never talk to them again. Never speak to them.
You gotta what do they call it? SWAT them, right? Is that what it's called?
Oh, when you send a SWAT to their house.
Yeah, SWAT them. You know, you gotta think outside the box when it comes to women, especially in Los Angeles. You gotta do some different shit.
Once you're off the dating app and you're hanging out with the girl, how do you stand out over other guys?
Yeah, it's gonna sound so fucking cliche, but it's just like, just be yourself. And like, guess what? You know what? If you're whack, don't be yourself. Work on yourself and then be yourself. I don't know. No, just be yourself and like try not to like be someone else. It's really it. And just, I think a way to stand out is be a gentleman. I think that's like lost in today's day and age. Look, I fuck around, I make jokes and like I'm playful and everything like that. But like at the end of the day, my mom raised me well. I am a gentleman. I open the door, I call the car, I make sure they're home safe. Like I pay for everything. Like I plan it all out and I try to at least do something that maybe they haven't done, you know? Like if I kind of know something about them, whether it's maybe through like friends or like we met through friends or through social media, I'll kind of catch a vibe and be like, you know what? I think, I don't think this girl's ever done this. So that's what I'm going to have her do. Like instead of the cliche, let's go here or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'm pretty sure she's never fucking robbed a bank. So we're going to rob a bank.
We're going to rob a bank.
No, I'm just kidding. But like there's certain, you know, and then girl.
Take her to a soccer game.
Yeah. Take her to a soccer game. And one thing girls love And it's so simple. And like a lot of guys still don't do it. It's just like, yo, you free Friday? Yeah, I'm free. All right, cool. Be ready by 8. This is what you should wear. I'll call your car.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think it also comes back to how you cause attraction to where you stand out from other guys on dates is not being too like of a yes man in a way. Like you're not just agreeing with everything she says. Like sometimes I'm on dates with guys and I'm saying my opinion on something and they're just like, yeah. And they're just always agreeing with everything I say. Instead of like, even if I say, oh, my favorite place I traveled was Barcelona. And they're just like, oh, I don't actually love that. I feel like to me it's too much of a party place. Or like they just disagreed in some way, even if it's not on something like super personal.
Yeah.
To me it's attractive because you have your own opinion. And then to a woman, I respect you more because I'm like, oh, I actually trust your opinion now because I know you're going to give me like your real opinion. You're not just going to say, yeah, babe, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of that. No, it's true. I actually do agree with you once. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to stand out.
Yeah.
You know? And like just do something like stand on the table, you know? You take her to dinner, stand on the table, profess your love to her, stand out.
I actually had a guy that was
be a man.
He would stand on tables at clubs and I was just like, this is so much, but it was actually funny. Yeah.
You gotta think outside the box. It's like how many guys have stood on the table and proclaim their love to this woman?
You're so
Bet I'm the only one. Now anytime she goes to eat dinner, she's going to remember this moment.
She's like, I remember, man.
You got to work smart. You know? So that's how I do it.
I actually had something cute.
I think that's really funny.
I had somebody do something cute recently where we had that wife joke thing.
Recently? That's wild.
So annoying.
That's crazy.
Where they had like a joke where we had that banter of like, oh, I'm like, we're already married. So they had the person at the restaurant put a ring on the shots that they like brought out. And they were all like celebrating as if it was like a birthday type thing. But they had like candles and like shooters and then the engagement ring. And it's like a fake proposal.
Yeah.
I think that was cute.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, and that's memorable.
And then I won't forget it.
No, that is good. I like that. And like that's committing to the bit.
Exactly. You're taking it even further.
It's committing to the bit. I love that.
Thank you so much for coming on the episode today, Andreas. And hopefully we'll see you again, but hopefully not too soon.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Don't get
Tell everyone where they can find you.
Find me on Andres Zanelli, and she'll link it. I'll make sure she does.
And I'm Tashi999. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.